The government has released the national list of essential medicines comprising 384 medicines across 27 categories. Now, 34 medicines have been added to the list, and these include several anti-cancer drugs, antibiotics and vaccines. 26 medicines from the 2015 list have been deleted. The purpose of the list is to ensure that these medicines are available to patients at an affordable rate. And staying with the healthcare sector, hospital merger and acquisition activity has picked up after a hiatus during the pandemic. In less than a month, we've actually seen 3 deals being struck at a cumulative value of over 700 crore rupees. Ekta standing by with more. Ekta.
Thanks for that. Well, the largest of the 3 deals in the past few weeks was Apollo Hospitals acquiring a hospital bed in Gurugram for around 450 crores, followed by Krishna Institute of Medical Sciences or KIMS acquiring majority stake in over 300-bed multi-speciality hospital in Nagpur for around 80 crores. Lastly, the third acquisition was Narayana Health shelling out around 200 crores for an orthopedic hospital, Shiva and Shiva Orthopedics, in their home market of Bengaluru. Now, while Apollo Hospitals acquisition marked the company's entry into Haryana, the KIMS acquisition was to diversify away from Telangana and AP and Andhra Pradesh. Meanwhile, the focus of Narayana's acquisition, which is housed within this company's city campus that comprises of the Cardiac Sciences Hospital and their multi-speciality hospital, Mazumdar Shaw Medical Center, was to strengthen their offerings in the orthopedic, neurology and trauma department. So why has M&A picked up in the healthcare space? From a seller's perspective, a few reasons are driving sales, such as existing promoters or investors of standalone operations looking to cash out. Reasons range from a lack of an exit for investors, as many of the hospitals are too small to list, too inefficient to manage, or too insufficient in terms of volumes, as there is a movement of patients towards more multi-speciality larger chains. Now, from a buyer's perspective, acquisition targets are mainly 150 to 200 bed hospitals or larger. Hospitals have seen business pick up post-COVID-19, with domestic growth estimated to be around 10 to 15% in the next 5 years. And lastly, medical tourism. It's becoming a big growth driver. In fact, the likes of Shalby is looking at a 150 to 200 crore sized acquisition of multi-speciality hospitals in Delhi and Kolkata to cash in on medical tourism from Nepal and Bangladesh. Estimates suggest medical tourism could see a growth of anywhere between 18 to 20% over the next 5 years. Lastly, in the past few years, the return on capital employed of hospitals has risen from single digits in 2015 to 2018 period to around 10 to 20% currently. Recently, increasing risk appetite for acquisitions is indicative in the return on capital employed increasing. But why not fresh capex? Experts say it's easier to acquire a greenfield hospital. It takes 3 to 4 years to come on stream and longer to even break even. An acquisition, as described by one of the hospital chains, is a plug-and-play model. Find a strategic fit and buy it.
All right, Ekta, many thanks. Now, we reported first, it is official. Insurance regulator has mandated that all insurance policies be dematerialized. Yash is standing by to explain how this move will impact the ecosystem. Yash.
CNBC-TV18 had reported on September 6th that the insurance regulator was considering mandating that all insurance policies be dematerialized. On the 7th of September, we told you that the mandate has indeed come through. Let's now dive deeper and look at the big beneficiaries of this move and the cost involved for insurance companies. Let's spend a minute to look at what this dematerialization move really means. All new policies issued from December 2022 will have to be compulsorily issued in a demat form. And by December 2023, all old or existing policies will have to be brought on the demat platform. Many relate this move to the dematerialization of shares. The move would mean converting physical insurance policies into modifiable online policy. Insurance policies will be put on a separate demat platform called the EIA, or the Electronic Insurance Account. This EIA will have all policies belonging to an individual, like his life insurance, health insurance, or motor insurance policy. What does it mean for policyholders? Since all policies belonging to an individual will be in one account, servicing these policies can be done all at once rather than reaching out to individual insurance companies. Dematerialization will remove paperwork and physical policies. Finally, policyholders will be able to take loan against their insurance policies just like they do against shares. Now, let's get to the meat of the story. Who benefits? Well, in long run, this will benefit insurance companies, but the depositories are the ones who enable this process, and they will be the big beneficiaries. NSDL, CDSL, CAMS, Carvi are the big depositories analysts are focused on. My calculation suggests that the depositories here could have an opportunity to double their revenue. Why do I say that? Life insurance industry sold around 3 crore policies in FY22, and the cost of dematerializing a single policy estimated by insurance companies and industry experts is around 50 to 60 rupees per policy. That would give depositories an additional revenue of about 150 to 180 crore rupees. General insurance companies, they sold 50 crore policies last year. The same calculation on dematerialization cost will give depositories an additional revenue of 2,500 to 3,000 crore rupees. Finally, the old active life insurance policies will also have to be dematerialized. There are 30 crore life insurance policies, and dematerialization of these policies will bring revenues of about 1,500 to 1,800 crore rupees. All put together, there could be additional revenue of around 4,150 to 4,980 crore rupees for the depositories. Compare this to the current revenue which depositories make. NSDL's revenue in FY22 stood at 821 crore, CDSL's revenue stood at 606 crore, and CAMS was about 927 crore. A very conservative estimate would show that these depositories could easily double their revenue. Now, insurance dematerialization will certainly entail a cost for insurance companies. This right here is a breakup of the annual recurring cost and the one-time cost which big insurance, both life and general, will have to take towards dematerialization. On the positive side, insurance companies will save the printing and the delivery of physical policies. Dematerialization will also restrict frauds. Also, it will improve the renewal ratios and hence the persistency for these insurance companies.
Many thanks for joining us and taking us through what dematerialization could mean for the insurance industry. It's time now for our Startup Corner. Arundhati Ramanan is standing by with our Startup Snapshot tonight. Aru.
Thanks so much for that, Shireen. So let's take a look at all the action from the startup world. Bharat Pay ropes in former RBI Deputy Governor BP Kanungo and Zomato Chairman Kaushik Datta as independent directors. The company plans to strengthen governance, rigor and transparency as they look forward to a listing on the stock exchanges. The fintech unicorn is also planning a market debut in the next 2 to 3 years. Meanwhile, SaaS-based analytics firm ThoughtSpot is investing $150 million in India over the next 5 years and also has just opened its third center in the country in Thiruvananthapuram. The new investment will fuel product innovation for the modern analytics cloud for companies to build their business on data. In fundraising news, 91 Square Feet, a construction tech startup, raised $10 million in a Series A round led by Stellaris Venture Partners with participation from existing investors, Y Combinator, Betatron and other prominent angel investors. Now, the fresh capital will be used to strengthen the startup's on-ground service muscle, product development and deepen its engagement with its supplier network. Amazon India's wholesale unit reports 4,592 crore rupees of revenue from operations in FY22, showing a jump of 26% compared to a little over 3,600 crore rupees a year ago. It in fact recorded a net loss of over 480 crore rupees compared to a little over 161 crore rupees a year ago. This according to the latest data from TOFLA. Now, Google completes the $5.4 billion acquisition of cybersecurity firm Mandiant. Mandiant will join Google Cloud to help organizations improve their threat, incident and exposure management. The firm plans to retain the Mandiant brand. And with that, it is back to you, Shireen.
Aru, many thanks for joining us. A quick check of some of the other headlines that we are tracking tonight. Several West Bengal BJP leaders, including opposition leader Suvendu Adhikari, were detained while marching towards the state secretariat. The BJP was protesting against allegations of corruption against the Mamata Banerjee-led Trinamool Congress. The police have used tear gas and water cannons to disperse the protesters near the Howrah Bridge. A police vehicle was also set on fire. The latest on the irregularities in recruitment scams of sub-inspectors for the J&K police. The CBI is conducting search operations at 33 locations across Jammu, Srinagar, Haryana, Delhi, Bangalore, among others. Premises of the former chairman of Jammu and Kashmir Services Selection Board, the controller of examination, and the houses of the DSP and the CRPF officials from Jammu and Kashmir have been searched. The 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court has started hearing arguments against the 10% reservation for economically weaker sections in government jobs and admissions. The petitioners argue that this reservation is a fraud on the Constitution and is dividing the country on caste lines. The court is likely to pass its verdict on the matter in 5 days. And with that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of India Business Hour. Thanks very much for watching. Do stay tuned. The news continues here on CNBC-TV18.